Okay, so you're watching your favorite YouTube channel and this happens. So, what do we do? What do we do? So don't panic. Okay, so we cut the power to that off. We are plugged in. First thing, let's see if we have enough power going to it, because that's usually what's wrong with it. So this is the power supply that came with it. It's the Motorola SURFboard. And this model is the SBG6580. Over here. So, we're supposed to be getting it center positive, 12 volts, DC, 1.5 amps out of here. So the first test let's do, if you don't have a voltmeter but you do have another power supply with the same 12 volts and at least 1.5 amps, you could try that. Just plug it in and see. But we're going to do a test here and see what we're getting. So we're going to put our volts on DC or auto. Is that going to be visible? So we'll go center positive. .7 maybe the highest I've seen. That's not nearly the voltage we need, so apparently this isn't putting out the 12 volts that we need. Okay, so let's test another one that I have here, that generic, you can change it to any voltage you want. Well, you can change it to what it's got on here: 3 volts, 4.5, 5 volts, 6 volts, 7.5, 9, or 12. And this unit is 36 watts, 3 amp max at 12 volts. Now, you electricians out there, somebody that really knows what they're talking about, can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the unit is only going to pull whatever power that it needs. So this is twice the amp capable output that the other power supply had on it. And of course that other power supply ran hot all the time as well. So this one has 36 watts. I may order one, because this goes to one of my lights. I may order a 45 watt so it runs cooler, but still has the 3 amp capable. And I got it set on 12 volts, so let's see if it's working. Again, it still needs to be center positive. And we're getting 12.5958. So we're getting a little more than the 12 volts, but we are getting the 12 volts that we want. So that should work. Oh, these come with different end fittings, so you have to use the right one, which that would be the one that matches this one, because that's the same as on my lights. I'll put it down in the description. I think it's 5.5 by 2.5. I think the inside hole is 2.5 millimeter and the outside hole is 5.5 millimeter. I'll write it down in the description, but let's plug it in and see if it works any better. What do you think? Already, that's a good sign. We've got the solid power light is staying on instead of blinking. And we've got our Wi-Fi on. I think this means it's trying to connect to the internet. And it should be connected now that these have turned blue. So that's all it was. Could be an expensive fix if you don't know to check the power supply. And she's all lit up blue and working properly now. I also don't pull this stuff off, which you might, should, on some things. None of the vent holes are covered up, so that's probably great. But so that's all it really was. So we just need a power supply. Now, if you don't have a voltmeter to check it, just take any 12 volt power supply. It doesn't have to be of equal capabilities. It just has to put out 12 volts DC and fit in there. But if it doesn't meet the minimum requirements, it will get too hot. This is cold as a cucumber. It'll get too hot and could ruin your electronics. But you can use it to test to see if in fact that is what's wrong with it. It's just a power supply. I think this thing cost over $140. Let me look. Okay, so I bought this ago. When did I buy this? Oh, keep that off here. That's that poop here. Get all the glare off of it. And you get a disc that I never took out of there. What is that? Oh, it's got my name and address on it. Let's keep that away. So the receipt from Best Buy also has too much stuff on it. Give me 1 second. Okay, so looks like it was bought April 7th, 2014 at Best Buy for $145.17 tax and all. And I don't know what Time Warner at the time started charging me for a modem, and that didn't even include a wireless router. They wanted extra for the Wi-Fi, I think. I don't remember exactly. All I know is that I didn't have to pay if I bought my own modem. And this was one of the modems that was recommended. So this is August. (2019). So how many months is that? It'll be 5 years between April and April. That's 60. April, May, June, July, August. So 63 to 64 months. At $4. That's $252. So I've like almost saved twice the money. And now you have to add like a $16, something like that, a $16 power supply to it. I think it's a great deal. Is it not? What do you think? And that should make it usable for another few years. I may do, when I get the new power supply, I may do like some heavy duty uploading or downloading or something, and take temperature readings on the two. Because I think if you go from a 30 watt, I think the old one may have been a 30 watt power supply, but I'm not sure. This one that's on it now is a 36 watt power supply. I'm going to order a 45 watt power supply. This one has the 12 volts. It goes all the way up to 15 volts. And here's the 5.5 times 2.5. So I guess the 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter is the standard end that you fit everything else on.
But it's 45 watts, 3 amps max, and it's only $16.90, free Prime delivery.
I'm thinking that the higher wattage power supply would actually run cooler and last longer. If you're an electrician, electronics expert or electrician expert, you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but it's fine for this to have the ability to put out more power as long as the volts are still 12 volts. Am I right? We may make a video taking the old one apart and seeing what broke on it. I don't know if it's fixable or not. But let me know what you think in the comments. That was kind of a simple fix. I even had the power supply already here for something else. It's always handy to have a power supply that you can plug a lot of different things into it, just in case. So like and subscribe, especially subscribe. I really need the subscribers. And I will see you in the next video. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Give me a thumbs down if you like the video. Just give me a thumb one way or another. Or both if you can. See if you can do both. And I'll see you in the next video.